So, sitting here with Jenny Jones from the Green Party, we're going to be talking about, what she does and what the policies of the Green Party is going to help benefit young people like yourself to get into voting. So, yeah, Jenny, could you please give us a bit about the Green Party and yourself and where your background comes from and why you are so involved in the Green Party?
Okay. Well, the Green Party's got two sort of planks to its whole philosophy, and all our policies flow from that philosophy. And those two planks are environmental justice and social justice. And I think most people understand that we talk a lot about the planet, we talk about the environment, and they trust us on that. It's not as well known that we've got really good social agenda, very, very good social policies. And quite honestly, I think they're difficult to beat. I personally have done all sorts of things. I came to politics fairly late in life, and being a Green politician is a fantastic opportunity, and I really like doing it. Shall I tell you what we're going to do for young people?
Yeah, you can tell me more about what the Green Party has to offer for young people and why young people should vote for Green Party particularly.
Well, I would say that it's really important for young people to vote, and even if you don't vote Green, you've got to get out there, you've got to get your vote, get a postal vote if you can't actually be here when the election's on, because if you don't vote, your voice isn't heard. And people always say, oh, what can one vote do? But actually, I've seen elections won with one vote. I've seen elections where people they've come equal and they've had to toss a coin. So every vote matters. What the Green Party can do for young people is it's a sort of extension of what we can do for all Londoners, because we care about housing, we care about policing, we care about education and training and jobs. And it's especially hard in all those areas for young people now. Yeah. I mean, if you're between 16 and 24, 22% of those people in London are out of work. Now, that is horrendous. It's higher than anywhere else in Britain. So it's really a case of trying to help young people to find opportunities.
As you know, that 1 in 5 young people are now out of work, unemployed. If you're a mayor, how do you seek to solve that problem?
Well, the first thing is we have to set up some decent apprenticeships so that people can learn skills. And we would set up 150,000 apprenticeships in London, and that would be for people under 25, and they'd be high-level, high-quality apprenticeships. And then, of course, you have to kickstart the jobs market, and you have to start investing in green technologies that aren't only good now, but they're going to be good in 20, 40 years' time, so that there's a future to what those young people are doing. Because obviously if you're out of work, your aspirations, your hopes are just destroyed.
Okay, so you want to set up these apprenticeships. How are you going to go about doing that? Where's the money going to come from? Because I run a business, I'm responsible for contracting about 30 people and employ about 4 people. I had an apprentice, but that was on the Future Jobs Fund, so the government helped me to be able to offer a young person an opportunity. So without investing into businesses, how is that going to obviously work? And
well, the Mayor's going to have a budget of about £15 billion, rising to about £20 billion. That's for everything in London, so policing, everything. Not just apprenticeships. But it does mean that there are opportunities to encourage businesses by giving them a fund, or by going to the bigger companies and saying to them, come on, this is your social duty, you can do it. It doesn't cost you very much, but it's good for business later. So the Mayor of London can take a leading role in this, and has to.
And what about young people whose maybe aspirations and the way they feel? Because I think part of the problem comes from the way people feel about themselves and don't have much high aspirations. So how will you look to work with young people or engage young people in the stuff that you're doing that will in turn benefit them?
Well, one of the things that I would definitely do is create a youth assembly. We've got an assembly. There's the mayor and an assembly. The assembly is 25 people, and they hold the mayor to account. So they look at the books and they make sure that he's speaking honestly and ethically and all that sort of thing. And I would create a youth assembly. So we'd have 25 young people from all over London who'd actually come and shadow us and actually perhaps have their own youth mayoral question time, actually engage them so that they can see exactly what it means to be an elected politician. And some of them might even like it.
And just lastly, obviously you're a woman, women in politics, I think it's awesome that more girls kind of get involved. What would you do for girls, young girls, in general, really, because I think there is a lot of pressure on young girls. I run a dance company, so I see like body image, etc. What kind of things do you think you could put in place for young girls to really feel good about themselves and to strive to maybe do what you're doing one day?
Well, I'd say two things. First of all, you don't have to do it when you're young. I didn't get elected until I was 50, so there's hope for a lot of people out there. Secondly, I see it as absolutely crucial, not just to the mayoralty, not just to London, but to society in general, that we support young women. Well, support women altogether. You have to be a sister. You have to support other women and not do them down. And I went to visit a company just this week called Liberty, and I was interviewed by 5 young black women. And 3 of them afterwards said they wanted to come out, they wanted to shadow me, they wanted to know more about the Green Party, they liked our policies. So if we can just get our message out there, the Green Party is really good at promoting women. Of our 5 senior politicians, 3 of them are women. So we don't exclude women, we encourage them and bring them on.
Fantastic. And if people want to know more about you, follow your campaign, what have you got, a Twitter, a Facebook, etc.?
Absolutely, it's something like Jenny for London, something like that.
On Twitter, at Jenny for
yes,
London.
so it's
Cool.
Jenny Jones, various things. Actually, no, Twitter is at Green Jenny Jones.
At Green Jenny
So,
Jones.
yes,
if people
and
want
it's
to follow.
always me who tweets. I don't have people
Excellent. You don't
tweeting
have
for me.
someone
I don't.
tweeting.
So I do get into trouble.
Right.
I do have problems occasionally because I'm a bit outspoken at times. But yes, at Green Jenny Jones. And our website. Look at our website. I think you'll be astonished at how much of our manifesto you like.
Brilliant. And obviously people have it's a rematch between Boris and Ken.
Yeah.
What would you say to them? Because some people might say you're kind of fighting a bit of a losing battle. How are you going to get your campaign out there?
Well, it is difficult because they're 2 huge personalities, but I think of them as 2 dinosaurs. And quite honestly, I see the Green Party as the future. We're the little mammal that comes between the dinosaurs. We are the only people with radical policies. We're the only people with policies that actually do think about the shortage of resources we're all going to face, the fact that resources are just going to rocket in price, whether it's energy or food or whatever. So quite honestly, voting Green is a way of saying we care about the future.
All right. So, as you know, not this time last year, in the summer, there were some awful scenes on London streets. Some young people in London do get themselves involved, and not just young people, some people in general get themselves involved in some not very nice things. How do you seek to keep London safe, not just for youth, for everybody?
Well, I think that London's an incredibly unequal city, so that makes it very, very tough for anybody who's on the poverty line there's lots of people who are working who are still living in poverty. And my view is that we have to lift people out of poverty. We have to make sure that they can feed their kids, heat their houses, buy enough food for themselves. And the mayor has quite a few powers in this. I mean, it's not only about job creation, but it's also about sending out the message that we really shouldn't be paying anybody less than the London living wage. That's something that Greens have promoted all along. But even the London living wage presupposes some benefits. So we should be thinking about paying people fairly. We've got a policy called 10 to 1, and we're saying is whatever the top person in the organisation is paid, the bottom paid person, the lowest paid, should always be paid at least a tenth. So, if you've got these people who are on huge salaries, of £1 million, well, you have to pay your cleaner £100,000. That seems sensible,
As a business owner, I don't know if I really.
I doubt you've got a great. You've got a ratio of more than 10 to 1, though. I'm sure you don't pay your lowest paid person less than a tenth of what you pay. So we're saying you don't have to hold down salaries. You just have to lift the poorest up with you. I know a lot of chief execs have hated that idea. And as for the riots, I think it's what you said earlier about aspirations. And for many people, there is a sense of despair and desperation because they're struggling to pay their bills. So, we have to try to help them to feel that there is some hope, whether it's through education or work. On policing, I think I've been a constant critic of the police. I was on the Met Police Authority for 11 and a half years until it was disbanded. But surprisingly, the new commissioner is saying things that I've been saying for over a decade. So he's saying, for example, he's going to cut stop and search, because I've been saying for years it alienates communities, it alienates young people, it particularly alienates young black men who are more often likely to be the victims of crime than they are the perpetrators, in fact. So, the police have been doing it quite badly, and when you alienate a community, you also don't get the sort of information you need about criminals and about, you know, what's happening. The police have got to stop and search the way they're doing it. If they have to do it in you know, much less, and also do it with extreme courtesy, politeness, so that people know exactly why they're doing it and don't feel abused while they're being stopped. I think the police can do this. But unfortunately, at the moment, they're not representative of London. And one thing that, you know, young black women should perhaps think about doing is going into the police. And I know most of them would go, oh, no. But actually, how are you going to change the police if you're not part of them and if they don't represent London?
Excellent. Thank you very much.
That's a new career for you, if you...
No, never.
No.
Far too pretty and like my heels too much.
I support Ends to Ends because I think it's really important to stay up with what's going on in the news and in politics. So please register to vote. You've got until April the 18th, and then actually go out and vote because your voice counts.